Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving into something that is honestly a bit of a rarity in the Web3 space right now. We are looking at Ciforus. They position themselves as a privacy-first, crypto-native product ecosystem. And in an industry that is so often driven by pure hype and, let's face it, speculative promises, Ciforus is doing something incredibly refreshing. They actually built their infrastructure and finished their core product surfaces before ever asking the public to jump into a token pre-sale. Today, we're going to unpack exactly why they set it up this way and how their token operates as the real economic engine for a live product rather than just an empty promise on a roadmap.
Here is the roadmap for our explainer today. We'll start with the empty token problem, then explore their privacy-first ecosystem, look at the utility of pay links, break down the token's economic engine, and finally, discuss how to evaluate all of this before you participate.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the empty token problem.
So, here is a question we really need to be asking ourselves. Why are we so frequently expected to buy tokens before we can even see a functional product? It's become standard industry practice, but if you step back, it's fundamentally flawed. We see all these hype-first presales, fragmented digital identities, and a massive reliance on waitlists instead of real usable platforms. Essentially, users are trading their capital based purely on a white paper concept, just crossing their fingers and hoping a product eventually materializes to justify the token even existing.
Think about a typical pre-sale. They are basically selling you a plan. It's hype first, driven by empty waitlists. You're essentially buying into a story. Ciforus takes the exact opposite approach. They built the fortress first. They came to market with a utility-first mindset and a completed privacy architecture already in place. They aren't just borrowing a product narrative to shill a token. Their token exists specifically to reinforce a real, live ecosystem that is already built.
That brings us to Section 2, a privacy-first product ecosystem.
You see, Ciforus isn't just one isolated standalone tool. It's designed to solve the headache of fragmented digital identity by bringing multiple secure modules under one unified roof. We're talking about a premium @ciforus.com email environment that's isolated by a privacy-aware gateway. On top of that, you get zero-knowledge encrypted file storage for your sensitive records, plus unlimited private workspace notes across all their tiers. And crucially, this is all backed by a heavy-duty security center featuring two-factor authentication, session management, and even crypto-native BIP39 recovery phrase logic. It's a highly cohesive environment. Instead of duct taping 5 different apps together and just hoping your data's safe, you get one fortified system.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, how they handle identity. Ciforus uses something called wallet-aware identity. Look, for crypto users, a wallet is a powerful cryptographic anchor, but most Web2 platforms out there force you to link it to a public profile or a totally exposed email address. Ciforus flips that. They let you use a verified crypto wallet as your primary trust and communication layer. That means you can securely message other verified users without ever being forced to expose your public profile to the broader internet. It integrates your crypto-native identity gracefully, and most importantly, it keeps it private.
Let's move into Section 3, pay links and practical utility.
Let's actually walk through what this workflow looks like in practice. Ciforus allows you to create a public payment request page. They call it a pay link. You generate this link and share it with your counterparties. The beauty here? Those counterparties don't even need a Ciforus account to use it. When they pay, you receive direct wallet settlement. This is absolutely massive because it completely eliminates the need to expose your identity to external centralized payment processors. Your billing doesn't suddenly become the weak link in your privacy setup. It keeps your inward privacy totally intact while giving you seamless outward-facing payment utility.
Now, Section 4, the token as an economic engine. So you might be wondering, where does the Ciforus token actually plug into this live product? Well, the token acts as the gateway to their subscription tiers, free, pro, and elite. As you can see, these tiers scale up your capacity for verified wallets and active invoice pay links. But here's the real utility. If you upgrade your platform capacity and use the Ciforus token at checkout, you get an immediate 20% discount compared to standard crypto payment options. That is tangible day-one utility. The token is designed to be the preferred native asset for aligning your subscription with the ecosystem. And the ecosystem itself is governed by some very strict tokenomics. Ciforus is an ERC20 token on the Ethereum mainnet, and it has a strictly fixed supply of 100 million tokens. There is zero minting function. As you can see, the allocation is totally transparent. 35% to the presale for capital formation, 20% dedicated to ecosystem and early user rewards,
20% goes to the treasury for ongoing operations. 15% is allocated to the team, and by the way, that's on a long-term vesting schedule with a 6-month cliff, and the final 10% is locked for liquidity. It is a structure carefully built for long-term alignment. Definitely not a quick exit.
40%. This number is incredibly important to understand. It represents the usage-linked deflationary logic built right into the Ciforus economy. When Ciforus tokens are used to pay for eligible platform services, 40% of those tokens are permanently burned. They are transferred to a public dead wallet. The remaining split is 40% to the treasury and 20% to support liquidity. And to be clear, they haven't hidden some privileged burn function deep in the smart contract. It's a completely transparent, verifiable transfer. It's a simple, undeniable mathematical truth. The more the product actually gets used, the more the token supply naturally contracts.
Finally, Section 5, Evaluating before you participate.
Look, as an operator in this space, you always want to look for concrete trust signals, and Ciforus provides them upfront so you can do serious, grounded research. The token contract? It's already deployed and verified on Etherscan. They have a highly detailed, comprehensive white paper. Their security audits are fully accessible, and they maintain a public-facing GitHub hub that acts as a totally transparent knowledge base. They actually want you to look under the hood and kick the tires.
Which leads me to my strongest recommendation today. Review the product layer and the token utility documentation together before forming a view. Please don't just glance at the token presale page, and don't just casually look at the app. You need to see them as one deeply integrated ecosystem. Notice that Ciforus makes no hype claims, no wild ROI promises, and no listing speculation. They are simply presenting a completed privacy infrastructure that utilizes a native token for its internal economy. Understand the risks, read the official materials, and always evaluate the product first.
I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought to chew on. If privacy is truly digital infrastructure, shouldn't your crypto token be built on a real product? Ciforus makes a very compelling argument that it absolutely should. Thank you for joining me for this explainer. I really encourage you to dive into the Ciforus documentation and explore this fascinating, product-first approach for yourself.